Debra Riley, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, and we are right here in your backyard, somewhere where you've spent a lot of time. We're upstairs at the Madeley Fine Art Gallery, part of the Conroe Art League, where you have served as the gallery manager for 7 years?
7 years.
Right on. Okay, and so this is a very timely conversation because you're getting ready to step down.
I am.
Yeah, you're getting ready to paint more, right?
Yes, let somebody else enjoy the fun of being gallery manager.
Yeah, well, big job to fill. I will say, I want to share a little story. When the news got out that you were going to not be the gallery manager anymore, that you announced that you were going to step down, there was panic.
No.
There was panic all over the art league. People were freaking out. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to survive? I think that's just a testament to how important a role you play here and how vital you are to the stability of the gallery itself and also to the league. I think we're going to miss you a lot, at least in that regard.
Well, I appreciate it, and it'll be fine.
Right, it will be fine.
Have somebody come in, everything will be fine.
Yes, it will be fine. I just thought it was pretty funny how everybody was losing their mind.
Well, that's fun to hear.
Yeah, for a couple days anyway.
Yeah.
So 7 years. What are some of the biggest takeaways of running the gallery here?
It's been really interesting, much more than I ever thought it would be. So originally the idea was to have someone that could coordinate information between the board members so that everybody was kind of on board with not getting dates crossed up, just kind of a central conduit of information, and also with the docents so that they had all the information that they needed. Because, you know, the docents might only be here once a month, and they tend to forget because it's been so long, or they get nervous. So to have someone kind of disperse information, it has been that, but it's been a lot more interesting than that. I ended up getting involved in the website because we rolled over to a new website shortly after I came on. So I got to learn a lot of the backside of that, which was interesting. Getting involved with the marketing, helping with the education. I think we brought in the first out-of-state workshop instructor, maybe the second year I was the gallery manager, and so that was kind of new grounds for us. We hadn't been doing that sort of thing. So I've met a lot of artists from outside of the area, as well as all our member artists. Kind of got to learn how to run a little business on my own, because most of the time it is just me here.
Right.
For a lot of hours, I'm the only one here working. So you have to kind of figure things out and make decisions, you know, on what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis. So it's been a lot more interesting than I thought it would be, and I've gained a lot of knowledge that I didn't expect.
So you came in thinking it was more of just an admin kind of thing, just directing people, being a go-between. Yeah,
good communication, supporting the board when they needed some type of help. But yeah, it turned out to be a lot more than that, and a lot more interesting too.
Yeah, well, to me it seems like one of your biggest skills is being a communicator. You're dealing with a lot of, because you're the front-facing person for the gallery itself, for the league in a lot of cases. So you have a lot of responsibility in that regard, right?
I got involved with speaking before City Council when we were doing our grant applications, or when there were certain events going on where they needed information from us. So that was interesting. I got to know a lot of people over at City Hall. Learned about the downtown community and the different merchants down here.
Downtown Conroe, Texas.
Yes,
historic. Right.
The heart of the cultural district.
Always,
That's right. So that was another thing that happened. We got the cultural district designation while I was working as the gallery manager. So it's just been a lot of different things. And yeah, communication. I love talking to new members that are new artists that have never shown in a gallery before, and they're nervous about whether or not their art's good enough to hang.
Yeah.
And so I really like welcoming them and encouraging them. And I think that's what's unique about our gallery. Every member can hang.
Yeah.
We don't jury in every single piece of art. So if you're brand new and you have something you want to hang, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, this was the first place that I sought out, or I found actually through researching when I moved to Texas in 2022. And immediately from the first time I walked in the door, I felt like I was at home. People were very welcoming. There's a very family-like atmosphere here.
Yeah.
And it was really encouraging. And then, so I was kind of spoiled. I thought that was the way it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I went knocking on other doors and it was not so warm.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same. But it's a really good group of artists that don't mind sharing.
Yes.
And don't mind encouraging each other, which I think is one of the things that makes us so different than a lot of other organizations. And people are kind of really invested in it because it's their gallery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. When you spend time here, you get to know folks. There's a lot going on here too. There's a lot of. I used to come to the figure drawing class, or it wasn't a class, a figure drawing group we call it.
Right.
I'm not able to come as regular as I used to, but that was one of my first kind of like crews here in Conroe that I got to know, and I just felt a part of something.
Yeah, I remember when you came, we're like, who's the new guy?
Yeah, who is this weirdo?
Let's go see what he's doing.
Yeah. And I remember, and so, I do things that are very different than the norm, and so there was a little bit of apprehension, but people just, they're like, whatever, do whatever you like, whatever kind of art you like, it doesn't really seem to matter.
Yeah, I think people come in downstairs, and if they're a new member and it's really quiet and they work their shift and maybe we don't have a lot of traffic that day, but they don't realize everything that's going on behind the scenes. We've got, as you know, now people working, putting in a lot of volunteer hours behind the scenes to make everything happen and seem like it's all calm and going well.
Yes, yeah, in fact, that's another thing. So I, like most members here, thought that you were just always here. Because every time I would come here, you were here. I just thought, you had a bed upstairs or whatever.
Practically.
You're here all the time, and that's a lot of things happen here without us seeing all the work, right?
Right.
Once I joined the board, then I found out, oh yeah, there is a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
There is a lot that happens
that
people aren't aware of, which is why we need as many volunteers as we do, so that it's not too heavy of a burden.
Yeah.
And that was why the gallery manager position was created too, to try and take some of that burden off of our board since they're all volunteers.
Right. That makes sense. And you did a great job. I mean, everyone, like I said, people were freaking out when they found out you're going to leave. But now that you're going to step down, you have a lot of plans going to. What's up? What's on the list?
First on the list is just to have a little quiet time where I don't feel like I have to be doing something for someone every single minute of the day.
That's right, because people would call you at all hours of the day, right? Or text you or email you.
I start getting text messages at 6 in the morning, and the last one is probably 10 o'clock at night. And I tend to respond, right away. So it'll be nice not to have as much of that. Have a little bit of travel. We normally go up to Door County, Wisconsin in the summer, so we're going to do that again. We're also going to do that in the fall. And I just scheduled a workshop in Taos.
Cool.
So that's going to be fun. So just kind of getting back to doing more art, because my ability to create art has decreased. From a time standpoint. I just haven't had a lot of time to do it.
Well, I'm glad that you will. That brings me to my next story about Debra Riley. I remember the first time I saw one of your paintings downstairs in the gallery, and I saw it. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the bathers, the girls on the deck in the bathing suits, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a great painting." The light capture in that work really got me. And then I saw the name. I said, Debra Riley. I was like, there's two Debra Rileys here? I just automatically thought that you were admin. Like that was what you did. You were the gallery manager, and it was like a 60 hours a week job, and like you were always here. So how could you ever have time to paint? When I saw the name, I thought we have two Debra Riley.
No, I painted first.
Yeah, and so I had no idea. As a noob here, that's how hard a worker I saw you at. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm glad that you are a painter. It makes everything make more sense.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't been painting for long.
Okay.
Just a couple of years when I discovered Conroe Art League. So I'd been painting maybe for 2 years before I joined, and I've been a member for like 9 years.
Okay.
So hadn't been painting that long. I was brand new.
Wow.
But what I loved about it was that I could show my stuff, even though I was
Yeah.
brand new and didn't know what I was doing. But
Right.
you know, they let me come and hang it. So,
Well, that's how you learn fast, too.
That's right.
You learn a lot of things quickly.
yes, and through lessons.
Right. So tell me about that, because when you look at your work here, this scarf, well, I have a story about that one, too. The first time I saw it, I believe it was a show downstairs here. Was it in Cal International a couple years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was.
I think that's where it was. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, someone framed a scarf.
I've heard that.
And I got up close to, wait, what? No, that's paint.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say they thought it was a scarf that had been placed on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before I was an artist, I played tennis
Okay.
nonstop,
Okay.
7 days a week, all over Houston.
All right.
And I took lessons every week and practiced every day. So when I started painting, I took lessons every week and practiced every day. 'Cause
Wow.
to me, that's how you're supposed to do it, you know, to learn. So I came here taking lessons from Gary Hernandez, and I took from him every week for 8 years.
Okay. So a couple things. First of all, that shows that, yes, discipline, just showing up every day and just
Yeah.
doing the thing, that's what makes you better, right?
It's
Even when
just
you don't
like-
want to do it, whether it's tennis, drawing, painting, whatever.
It's all about practice
Just
and
show up.
learning, yeah.
Right. And then second, so you had no drawing experience, no painting experience before you started? Wow.
No.
Okay. I'm impressed. Even more.
You know, when I was a kid, I liked to draw and
Mm-hmm.
color and do that sort of thing. But I didn't do it in school at all, didn't do it in college, you know, just went straight to work. My mother was an oil painter and watercolorist, but she started late in life also. She was probably in her 50s. So about the time I was leaving home, she was starting to paint. So I
Okay.
really didn't have the benefit of learning from her.
Okay.
But I was always interested in it. I remember everywhere we went on family vacations, we always went to the art gallery. And that was probably because Mom was interested in it. So always interested in it, but no.
Okay.
And my teachers will tell you I need to take drawing lessons.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it that sparked in your mind, like, I want to know how to paint, or I want to know how to create now?
Well, it was because I'd been playing tennis and I hurt my shoulder and
Okay.
my neck and I couldn't play anymore. And all of a sudden I had nothing to do. And all my
okay.
friends were taking painting lessons over at the Hobby Lobby.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, well, why don't you come take lessons with us? So I joined them just to have something to do and then just couldn't stop doing it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And so your art, I would consider it realism. You know, like I said, that looks real. It looks like you could just touch it. You could pick it up, throw it around your neck. And I think part of it is, well, obviously the light. Like I said, the capturing of the light, the shadow. You have a real knack for that. Did you set out to be a realist painter, or did that just happen?
I think that's just my natural style.
Okay.
Because if I try to do something looser, it doesn't come off well.
Okay.
I like detail. I'm a pretty slow painter. So it doesn't bother me to do something that takes a lot of time. It doesn't bother me. The more detail, kind of the better.
Okay.
If I try to do something quickly, I'm never happy with the results. It's not good enough to me if I do it quickly. This one is probably the loosest I've ever done, and I know it's still not loose, but yeah, that's just my natural inclination. I've tried to go other directions and it doesn't come off well when I do it.
Well, I see, it seems like it fits your personality very well, Because when I think of you, I think of someone who's very by the book, very meticulous, scratch, make sure everything is taken care of, very detail oriented, people who like spreadsheets and problem solving, that sort of thing.
I feel like if you're going to do something, you should really do it well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't waste your time if it's not really well. And to me, I'm still learning how to really handle oil paint and do it well. So I've not been interested in going to any other medium because I feel like I still can improve in using oil paint. And I don't feel like you can do a painting that tells a good story if you don't paint well. So I feel like if the painting itself isn't done well enough to grab someone's attention, then they're not going to look at it long enough to really see if it's telling a story or not.
Yeah.
And most of mine don't tell a story because I never felt like I got to that point.
Well, some of them do.
I'm getting a little,
the Bathers one,
better with that.
The Bathers one, for me, it reminded me of like my mother. Some old pictures I'd seen of her when she was, because it had the bathing caps on.
The flowered bathing caps.
You don't see those very much anymore,
Right.
but I remember seeing pictures of my mom from the 60s, 70s in the bathing cap. Again, the light capture in that piece, and all of your pieces, that usually is what draws me in.
I like trying to get the light.
Yeah.
The more there's a light effect to it, the more I like it.
Yeah, it reminds me of, some of your works really remind me of the Caravaggio's, like the tenebrism that he, the dark contrast with the light. So, there's several examples. I remember this little light of mine, the little girl with the little match.
Yes.
Oh man, I remember seeing that from a distance and just like being drawn into it, like an insect to the light. It's just a really powerful handling of the light. So, is that something you've always been interested in terms of an artist?
Yeah. The art that I like usually has something about it in lighting. Like this one has this backlighting, and that was what I was hoping to capture in that one.
Yeah, if you look at the back of her blouse here.
Right. We're trying to get the light to come through.
Yeah, or on top of the hair.
I just think it makes them more interesting if you can get that in there.
Totally makes it more interesting. I mean, that's the thing for me. I mean, we all have our own taste, but when I go and look at the old masters and the Renaissance, that sort of stuff, I'm always drawn to the ones with the contrasting light. Yeah. That's my eye always goes there. There's so a lot of your portraits capture that. The one that's downstairs right now for the Cal International show, Louisa. Yeah, that you have a couple of Louisa. Is Louisa a family member?
I've done her 4 times.
Okay,
I'm working on the 4th one now, and it also has like a dark shaded side of her face. She is the granddaughter of a very good friend of mine that lives across the street from me.
Oh, okay.
And so a couple of the paintings have come from a little modeling session where I had her come over to my studio. And we played with some of my scarves and the lighting, and she let me take pictures. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wondered how you got that.
I don't have any young girls of my own, so I have to borrow them.
You have to borrow. Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. But in that piece, particular, that one side of her face has got the little highlights on it. It looks like she has like a turban on of some sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
so I had this thing about scarves.
Scarves, right. I was going to say, so a lot of folks know me as the guy who wears the baseball cap all the time.
Yeah.
Not on here because I'm trying to be a little more professional. But you, I think of the scarf. In fact, you sat for a portrait painting group one time, and I did a rough painting. What do they call it? The Alla Prima.
Yes, and
3 hours.
I had the big scarf that wrapped around.
Yeah, you had that, and then so that always stuck in my mind. And then you see it show up a lot.
Yeah. What happened is we've traveled a lot, and I used to buy souvenirs to bring home, and it got more and more difficult to bring things home. So I started buying scarves to different places that we went. And so those were easy to pack and bring home. And so for me, they have a memory of where I was when I bought them. Cool. So for example, this one, I still have and still wear, but I bought it 40 years ago, the first time we went to Rome after
Wow.
we had just done a trip to the Holy Lands.
Wow.
And as soon as we landed in Rome, the first thing we did was all go to the Gucci store.
Oh, right.
So that was when I
That's
bought
awesome.
that. So a lot of them have some kind of memory attached to them.
Okay.
And so when I started doing this series of scarves, one was from the first time in London, one was the first time in Rome. I think the other one was on a trip to Cabo San Lucas. And so, yeah, and this is going to be my next one.
Cool. All right, you're painting it?
I'm going to try.
Okay. Yeah, I like that you paint the scarf. So it's not only is the scarf itself something that holds memory to it, but now you're painting it. It's like another dimension, right?
Yeah.
So it's another way to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, because it's realism, like the first time I saw it, I thought it was just a scarf in a frame pinned like on there. So that's pretty cool.
So they're fun to do. So it's about time for me to start another one, I think.
Right on. Well, I was wondering how, because I know looking at your website, they have different names. Like one was a London, something had to do with London. I didn't understand that, but now that makes sense to me.
And I had one that was called A Day at the Met.
Yes,
and
yes.
that was one
that won an award, didn't it?
It went to the OPA National Show and was purchased there. So I don't still have it, but A Day at the Met was, we went to New York City for a friend's birthday, and we spent the day going to museums, and I happened to buy that one at the Metropolitan Museum there in New York. So they have strong memories for me.
Awesome. That makes me want to go home and paint my baseball caps.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something. Well, let's talk about that too, because I would call that a still life. You seem to focus on either figure drawing or figure painting, portraits, still lives, and landscapes. Plein air, it seems like a lot of times, right? Those are the main subjects.
Still life I like because you can control the lighting.
Yeah.
And fix it however you want it. Same with the portraits and the figures. If you're lucky enough to have somebody that can come and you can set the lighting up for them. But you know, not everybody can do that. So sometimes you have to do it from a photograph that somebody took, you know, of their granddaughter or whatever. And the lighting's not always great in those.
Yeah.
The scarves, I did a little series. Every scarf tells a story. And landscapes, I wish I could do them better. But I keep trying, but I would say they're hard for me.
Yeah, well, I think they're hard in general. There's one that I really like of yours. It's the Enchanted Rock one.
Oh, that one I do like.
Yeah, and you know why I love it so much is because there's the foreground cactus there, and then in the background is where you have the sunset. And you have that contrast of the sun in the background. But in the foreground, it's in focus, and there's still light hitting the cactus in a particular way that is really picturesque.
Yeah, I think that one got some good depth in it.
Yes, yes.
So that was also about the light, you know, coming across the landscape and hitting up on that cactus there.
Yeah, and that's again what I'm drawn to. So every time, that's probably why I was drawn to that one. I've been dying to know, did you set that up, or was that a photograph, or did you do it
was
plein
from
air?
a photograph.
It was from a photograph.
It was from a photograph, yeah. So you had to enhance all the colors, you know, to get it to come out the way it was at the end.
And you took a photograph yourself, and you put the cactus there in focus in the front. Is that how you did it?
Yeah, it was that way.
It was just that way. Okay.
Yeah, it was just that way. Yeah, but just
nailed it.
Not the pretty colors. You
know? right. Well, you nailed it. I love that one. Talking about your still lifes, do you drink brandy? I see a brandy show up a lot, but the light shining on those brandy glasses, the bottle, the Calvados, that one, particular that one.
No, I don't, but that's another travel story.
Okay.
So we bought the Calvados art bottle that looks like the little apple in Honfleur, France when we were there. And so we've had it. I brought that home with me, and it's just a piece that I really like. I think the bottle is so pretty. So when I decided to do a still life, I wanted to use that bottle.
Gotcha.
And then it was, you know, setting up the lighting to where it would catch the light well. But yeah, so for me, it's more about the trip that we took and the day we spent in Honfleur when we bought that.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's like that bottle is the star of that piece. And you know, it's hard for me to get excited about still lifes, but when I see that lighting, it does excite me. I see that, you know, also the pearls at the bottom of, which one was that? Was that the same one?
So I had one that
That
was
was
a
the
perfume
finishing
bottle.
touches,
Yeah, that was one of the first still lifes I ever did, and it was my first piece that got into the Cal National at the time, not international.
Okay.
And it was the first piece I ever got into kind of a big show.
Cool.
And it sold at that, and my husband says to this day that was his favorite painting, and he wished I still had it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones I did, and that was a perfume bottle that was mine. So I'm told that if you paint something that means a lot to you, you will paint it better. Because you care about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I think I'm leaning more to painting things that mean something to me, which is probably why I do more still lifes and scarves and that sort of thing, as opposed to landscapes.
Yeah. And you can really, like I said, control the lighting. Landscape, good luck. Controlling the lighting, control the sun.
Exactly.
But yeah, you've really nailed how to light the subject and get those little flashes of highlights. The olive oil, the garlic and olive oil one, another one with those real brilliant highlights that just capture your eye and make you want to look at it.
It's fun to set those up, but you can do hundreds of pictures, attempts before you get it right.
So you take the picture and then you work from that normally?
I set it up and I take photographs and I, you know, keep taking photographs and changing it, and then I go through the photographs to see the one that I think was the best setup, and then that's the one that I'll use to paint from.
Okay. And I've always been curious too, especially when I talk to realist painters, do you do a sketch? Do you just do it with paint? Do you use a grid? I don't think you use a grid, right? No?
I should, but I don't.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, it's
if I
no
did,
shame in that. But.
Well, I mean, that's using a grid is the right way to do it, and then you can sketch it in and make sure everything's right. I tend not to use a grid, and I start drawing it with paint, thin paint, and invariably I have mistakes I have to go back and correct because I didn't use a grid.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you do the measuring techniques and all that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do some.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on what it is I'm working on.
Just curious, yeah.
Especially for portraits.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to get everything exactly the same. On still lifes, you can fudge a little bit. It's not going to matter. You know, if the bottle is shaped a little differently than it is the one you're looking at. But if you're doing a portrait, you've got to make sure all the measurements are exactly right.
Yeah, I say the same thing about dogs. I do a lot of dog portraits. You can fudge on the dogs a little bit because we don't see those faces the same way we see humans.
Right.
If the human face is just a little bit off, you notice.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Well, that's cool. It's kind of cool that, you know, someone who does this realistic artwork doesn't really have a sketch done first, just kind of go with it, kind of free flow. So you got both sides of the personality there.
It probably takes me longer because of that. Maybe I should start taking drawing classes.
Right?
And it might go faster.
Well, you said Gary Hernandez, right? Did you learn drawing with him or did you do painting with him?
I did painting with him, but he has encouraged me to take drawing lessons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. So when you're drawing with paint, basically.
Yeah. And I've done painting lessons with Juan Cantavea, and he's an excellent drawer. So he would probably tell you the same thing. If your drawing skills are better, your painting would be easier.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of folks, I mean, painting is just drawing with a paintbrush. Right?
Yeah.
It's good to have the basics down, but whatever's working for you, you know. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I'm kind of okay with the system I've got going right now.
Yeah. Tell me, I was reading your website and you talked about painting in Gavarni, right? What was that experience like, and what led you there?
So when I first started painting, a friend, the one that invited me to go to Hobby Lobby and paint. So we're at Hobby Lobby painting. And I'm now looking online at painting workshops, and I'm really interested in it. And I see that there's this plein air workshop in Giverny, and it's in Monet's garden, and you can go in when it's closed to the public. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we should do this. So she's like, yeah, we should do this. Well, neither one of us have ever done plein air painting. So we immediately signed up for a plein air workshop. We were horrible, but we got on the plane, we flew to France, and we did the week-long workshop there. And we were allowed to go in when the gardeners went in the morning. So it would be dark when we'd be waiting at the gate to go through what was Monet's garage where he kept his cars. We would enter through there, and we could stay until the gates opened to the public. Then we had to leave. Then we could go back when they closed it. I think it was at 6 o'clock. They closed it to the public. We could go back in until the gardeners left at dark.
Oh, okay.
And so that was a really cool experience because you were the only ones in there. It was beautiful. It was quiet. You could be right there at the lily pond, right there where the bridge is. And we did it every day for 7 days. And then during the daytime, we traveled around and went to other places. So we did some painting in other locations as well. So along the river there, and yeah, it was great.
So you were painting all day, basically?
We were painting all day long. We liked it so much. The next year, my friend and I went back, but we brought 4 friends with us, and we scheduled a private guide to take us around, and that private guide also got us back into Monet's garden during closed hours. And right after we left that second year, something happened where some group that was painting in the gardens didn't follow the rules, and they stopped. And nobody else is allowed to do it. So we were one of the last groups that ever got to do that. So it was very exciting.
Okay.
But we had no idea what we were doing.
No, okay. So, but I was going to say, since you were there early in the morning and in the evening, you got the most dramatic lighting setups too, right?
Yes. Came back with just hundreds and hundreds of photographs that we could use for reference photos. But I mean, we were terrible. We were just terrible.
I was going to say, when are we going to see one of those paintings?
Oh, no. I do have one. I have 2 that I did from a photograph.
Okay.
One of the bridge you typically see. On the opposite end of the pond, there's another smaller bridge. So I have one on each end. And the first year we went in the spring. The second year we went in the fall. So I've got kind of 2 different versions of the landscape there.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Cool.
it was...
And good stories. You got good stories.
Yeah.
Plus to be there where he was inspired.
It was great.
You know.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you feel like an austerity, some sort of like?
You just couldn't hardly believe you were there.
Yeah.
There's a hotel in town, the Hotel Body, that all of the Impressionists used to stay at, but they would exchange paintings for their room and board or for their meals. And so that old historic hotel is still there with a restaurant. The restaurant still operates, so we would eat there every day. And in the back, there is the old painting studio. And it's got a lot of the old equipment still in place from back in those days in the 1800s. It's just fascinating. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, it was great.
And
Great experience.
And now no one else can do it.
That's right.
Only you.
But I have been there.
That's awesome. Speaking of, so we're talking about Monet. I'm curious, is what artists do you look towards? Who inspires you when you go to a museum or when you're, appreciating art? Who are some artists that you?
So John Singer Sargent.
Okay, makes sense.
And
Again, the light.
Yeah.
The light, right?
William Adolph Bouguereau.
Okay.
And Bouguereau does the darker backgrounds, the female figures, lots of children that have that really beautiful pink, soft pink flesh tone.
Yeah.
So I really like those. There's a living artist that I admire, Scott Christensen.
Okay.
Who does landscapes, mainly mountain scenes. He's in Idaho.
Idaho, okay.
Yeah.
Good place to be for that.
Yeah, so I've done a couple of
Okay.
workshops with him, and he's in some museums across the country, but his work is really beautiful.
Okay, cool. And who knows when we'll see the Gucci scarf
That's right.
in the museum. Might be rolling into the MFA here. Check that out.
Well, they hung at the Pearl Fincher for
Oh.
a month,
Well, there you go.
so that was fun.
Getting closer?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Well, Debra, this has been great. I think people are really going to enjoy hearing your story and knowing that you are a prolific painter, even though it might take you a little longer. Now you have a lot more time
That's right.
to do it.
That's
so we
right.
look forward to that. But before we go, I have to ask you rapid fire questions. Okay, so we got to get to know you just a little bit more. These are quick answers. Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
That's part of the fun. We get to figure out why you said what you said on our own.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so the first one is coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Still life or portrait?
Still life.
Okay. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hot dog.
All right, hot dog, okay. That's cool. Big or small?
Big.
Stone in your shoe or itch you can't scratch?
Stone in my shoe.
Okay, all right. I know, itch you can't scratch. It's horrible. Museum quality or street level energy?
Museum quality.
Right on, makes sense. Morning fog or evening fire?
Evening fire.
All right. Trust your eye or trust your gut?
Trust your gut.
All right. 14-hour plane ride or 14-hour train ride?
14-hour plane ride.
Okay. Plan or no plan?
Plan.
All right, see? Plan on the admin side,
Yep.
but when it comes to art, well, I don't know. You probably have a
Plan.
plan with it, right?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing when
There's
you're
always
sketching.
a plan.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Early bird or night owl?
Early.
Okay. Concept driven or process driven?
Probably process. But
Okay.
yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That makes
Probably
sense.
process.
Yeah. Movie theater or Netflix?
Movie theater.
Me too. What was the last movie you saw in the movie
It's
theater?
been a while.
Has it been?
You know, COVID kind of ruined that for us.
Right? I know now you go to the movie theater and no one's there.
It was like a Mission Impossible or something.
Yeah.
I think that was the last one we saw at a movie theater.
Okay.
The latest one of those.
Right on. That was a good one. I like all of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I'm a Tom Cruise fan. Beauty or truth?
Truth.
Amen. And now the last one, art that whispers or art that shouts?
Art that whispers.
All right.
Yep.
That makes sense for Debra Riley. I think because a lot of these moments are whispering moments. You can see it captured in the light. And I think the future is bright for you, Debra.
Well, thank
Right?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for joining us. You can find Debra's work here at the Madeley Fine Art Gallery and online, right? You'll find it at your website, which is, I'll put it up here on the screen so people can see
Okay.
it, DebraRileyArt.com. You can follow Debra on Instagram at Debra Ann Adams Riley, one long word there, and Facebook as well at Debra Riley. So we'll have links in the descriptions below. Check out her work, support local artists.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Debra, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll do it again sometime, yeah?
Okay.
All right. Peace out.